Hello everybody, so back for a second video here. I hope you guys are having a wonderful first week in the new year. I know mine's getting pretty good. I also hope that since the last video you've had some success in finding a new path. I know I've done some soul searching with my path, and I think I'm going to pull different branches in like I have been doing, but I think I've more figured out what branches I'm going to pull in. That being said, it's going to still be eclectic like I was before. Sorry for the noise. My cats have decided that at 12:30 in the morning is when they need to play around. But I think I'm definitely still going to be eclectic witch. Definitely still going to do what I did before. Just pulling in different things. So I'm going to pull in stuff from Draconic, from Fairy, from the Sea, Witchery, that kind of stuff. If you guys want, I can do a more detailed video on what I've chosen as my path and how I go about incorporating the different aspects of the different paths into my path. This is one of my babies. Anyways, the witchy kitties. I know in the last video I said that I was going to do my next video as a history video, and in thinking about it and everything like that, that's a really broad topic, and also in thinking about it, I just decided that at this point in my practice, I really don't want to incorporate anything that has to do with history. I know you guys could debate against that and say, you know, you have to know your beginnings to know where you are and everything like that. But I don't feel right now that my path needs it. I'm not saying that I won't look up anything in the future. I know there's some stuff I want to look up when it comes to certain topics and certain events that happened in combination with the whole witch and all that kind of stuff. And people say that there's some topics that you shouldn't look into. But to give you an example, the witch trials, whether it be Salem or anywhere else, I feel that I want to go ahead and look into those, just as the fact that I want to know how different it was back then to how it is now. Just to appreciate more how lucky I am and how easy I have it, right? I feel like I need to know how it was for them back then. I mean, I have a basic understanding, but I think I want to look into it more. And that's pretty much the brunt of what I want to look into for history right now. I mean, with looking into the different paths, you have an idea of when different paths were established and all that kind of stuff. So you've already kind of done a history lesson. But if you want to go more in depth into history, get into your books. Research, which is the same thing as I said in the first video. In the beginning of your practice and everything, that it's always about research and filling your head with knowledge. Okay. But like I said, I've just decided to skip over that, just because right now I don't feel I need to go about it. If I do decide to bring it in later, I will, of course, we'll do a video for you guys about it later. Next, what I thought would be a good idea would be to go ahead and think about the basic tools you need to begin and why that is. And, I'm not talking you need to go out and spend a bunch of money to get these tools and you have to, you have to have these, because you don't have to. There's people that practice without tools. They believe that just their hands and their words is enough to connect them to their path, and they don't need it, which is all well and good. I'm very much for physical things. I need to have that representation there. Like if I cast a circle, lately I've been doing it without actually laying anything down, and it's been freaking me out because I don't know where the circle borders, and it kind of creeps me out. But yeah, and you know, you don't have to buy them. You can go ahead and make them. That's really up to you. Okay, but I think, for me, the basic tools that you need when you first start. This is for me. Again, you know, I'm not an expert. As I said in the first video, disclaimer, you know, these are my thoughts. So that being said, let's take a look at what I think should be your basic beginning tools. I don't have it here. I have a book over there, a little journal that I keep with me, and I'm going to be writing in. And so I think number one, actually I guess it would be tools number 1 and 2. No fighting. Be nice to each other. Sorry. Tools number 1 and 2 would be a way to document. So pen and paper. I feel that doing it pen and paper rather than doing it on a computer. Computer's fine. So if you want to do it on a computer, that's fine. So that would only be one thing rather than two. But pen and paper, you're putting more of your own personality into it. So yeah, with a computer, you're typing on a keyboard, but it's all linear, one type of, you know, text. So anybody in the world can use like Times New Roman, and it's just really their thoughts that are going onto the paper. Whereas when you write it yourself, it's in your own writing, it's in your own energies, and all that kind of stuff. So that's tool number 1, and we'll get into why in a minute. Tool number 2, most women nowadays have these around the house. Some men do as well. But I think the next major tool, number 3, is candles. Okay, so we've got pen and paper and a candle, so that's 3. Number 4, excuse me, is, I don't really know how to explain it. A symbol. Okay, most of us associate, you know, Wicca and witchcraft with the pentagram, and most of us feel very strong devotions to the pentagram. Okay, but a lot of us, sometimes it's the Ankh, if you believe in more Egyptian, anything like that. So a symbol that you feel resonates with why you are in the path. So for me, it's very much of the pentagram. I feel very proud when I wear my pentagram. So normally I have a ring on. My fingers are all swollen, so I don't know wearing them, but I normally have a ring on my middle finger on my left hand, and it's just pentagrams all around the band. And then on my ring finger on my right hand, I wear, it's like a tree of life with a pentagram, giant pentagram in the front of it, and the tree kind of webs in between it. I have my pentagram necklace. My wife got me this one. It's got moonstone in the middle. It's not my original one. I did have one in the beginning. It had like thorns and then a little tiny pentagram in the middle, but that I put on a different necklace, and I'll get into that necklace at another time. Pentagram. But yeah, so like I said, it could be pentagram, could be anything. A star, a sun, the element signs, that could be one. The triquetra, the tree of life, could even be a symbol that you choose to use. And I'll tell you why in 1 second as to why I think that should be one that you have. Yeah, so those are 4 basic tools. Okay, so pen and paper. You want to document in the first little bit before you even get into, like, while you're starting to decide how you're going to put your path into motion and in your life. You'll want to document anything that you feel is a spiritual, like, aha moment. Okay, whether it be you're walking outside and Like, for example, our neighbors across the street cut down their trees, and I just had this anger moment where I just wanted to walk across there and just, like, strangle them because they cut down their trees. And for me, I was like, okay, what's going on? Why am I having this moment? And it was just like I had this connection to Earth for a moment, and I just was really terrified that someone had gone ahead and done that. And my wife was like, don't let this spoil your mood and everything like that. Excuse me, I'm still sick there. But that definitely is something that I feel should be written down. Or, you start looking at things a different way that you've never looked at before and you don't really know why. Write it down. It might not have anything to do with your new path, but it might. Definitely recording your thoughts in the first little bit is definitely a way to look at it, because yeah, you've gone ahead and selected a path, and yeah, you're going to start go ahead and practicing, but the best knowledge is the knowledge in your head that you already have, right? So let everything speak to you. Let your gut, let your intuition be your guide. Okay? So that's tools number 1 and 2, and that's why they're 4. Numero 3 is, what did I say? Candle. So the reason why I say candle, I've grown to have a brand new appreciation for the heat and warmth that comes from a candle. And a candle is a very good way to just help you ground yourself. And it kind of works in conjunction with tool number 4, like I said. A lot of people do candle magic, and they just burn their candle as their intent. They don't use oils, they don't use herbs, they don't use whatever, candle, whatever. A lot of people use candles to represent the god and goddess, the male and female, whether you practice with god or goddess or not. Flames and a candle they're such a radiating energy. So whether you don't, I feel it helps bring everything to light. No pun intended. But yeah, so I think it helps kind of give you that energy vibe that you need. So that's how I feel. So that's number 4. Number 3. Number 4 is a symbol. So like I said, pentagram for me very much. And I think the reason why I feel that a symbol for you, whether you have it written down on a piece of paper, you write it on the front of your notebook, you have a necklace of it, you have it tattooed, which I do, you just have it on your wall, anything like that. It helps. It's a focus for you. You might not know how to do a ritual yet. You might not know how to cast a circle. You might not know anything like that. But that symbol is there as a representation and a reminder as to why you're there, why you're practicing. It's to help you get away from being discouraged. It's to go, okay, this is what I'm working for. It's what represents your spirituality to you before you can set up an altar or before you can whatever. So I think that is going to be the end of this video. Just the 4 basic tools that I feel at the beginning, and then there are more tools in the next little bit that we can go over, and we will do that. And some people are going to tell me that I'm stupid for thinking that this is the basic tools, but I think, not everything has to be magical in order to start your magical path. Alright, so as always, link below to my Facebook if you want to get into discussions or anything like that, to my Tumblr below as well, for my Spell a Day blog, yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week for another topic.